Most people think a dangerous blood clot will come with obvious dramatic warning signs. But the truth is, it often strikes silently, killing thousands of seniors every single year. What if I told you that the biggest risk factor is not a lack of a big exercise session, but the simple, quiet act of sitting still for too long? Today, we are going to reveal the one simple hourly habit that you can do to dramatically cut your risk and keep your blood flowing freely. Welcome back to Healthier Daily, the channel where we give you the simple science-backed truths to live a stronger and more independent life after 60. I'm your host, Dr. Ben Carter. And to guide us through this critical and potentially life-saving topic, we are joined by a physician who has spent over a century studying the principles of healthy circulation and longevity. It is our great honor to welcome Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you for having me, Ben. This is a very important conversation. We must understand the deep danger of stillness. When you are sitting still for a long period of time in a car, on an airplane, or even in your favorite armchair watching television, the blood in the deep veins of your legs is like a river that has stopped flowing. And in still stagnant water, things begin to settle and to stick together. This is the simple, quiet beginning of a very dangerous blood clot.
That is a perfect and very powerful analogy, Doctor. And for those of us over the age of 60, our bodies are much more susceptible to this stagnation. There are two main reasons for this. First, as we age, the walls of our veins can naturally lose some of their elasticity so they don't push the blood along as efficiently as they used to. Second, our blood platelets, which are the small cells that are responsible for clotting, can become a little more reactive or sticky as we get older. This combination of slower blood flow and stickier platelets creates the perfect environment for a clot to form, even without any kind of injury. And we must be very clear with our viewers about the specific danger here. A clot that forms in the deep veins of the leg is called a deep vein thrombosis, or DVT. The great danger is that a piece of this clot can break off travel through your bloodstream and get lodged in your lungs. This is a condition called a pulmonary embolism, and it is a life-threatening medical emergency. And that is why we have created this guide for you today. Dr. Hinohara is going to walk us through his complete circulation reset protocol. We will cover the hourly movement ritual that can save your life. We will then discuss the supporting pillars of hydration and nutrition. And finally, he will teach us how to be a watchful guardian for the subtle warning signs of a clot. It is a true blessing to have this knowledge to be good stewards of the incredible circulatory system we've been given. If you are ready to learn this simple, life-saving habit to protect yourself and your loved ones, please type the number 1 in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. It's completely free, and this information is so very important. So, Doctor, if stillness is the enemy and the direct cause of this dangerous stagnation of blood in our legs, what is the simple hourly habit that can keep our blood flowing and protect us? What is this second heart that you mentioned in your notes for this video?
Yes, the human body is very intelligent and beautifully designed. It has a wonderful built-in system to help the main heart with its very difficult job. Your powerful calf muscles, the large muscles in the lower part of your legs, are often called the body's second heart.
This is such a fascinating and important piece of our physiology. Let's explain exactly how the second heart works for our viewers, because it is the key to this entire protocol. Your arteries, which carry blood away from your heart, have thick muscular walls that help to pump the blood along. But your veins, which have the much harder job of carrying the blood back up to your heart against the force of gravity, are much floppier. They do not have those same strong muscles. Inside your deep leg veins, you have a series of tiny one-way valves. When your calf muscles contract, for example, when you flex your foot or stand on your toes, they powerfully squeeze these deep veins. This strong squeeze literally shoots the blood upward from one valve section to the next, almost like water climbing a ladder. This is what we call the calf muscle pump. It is absolutely essential for healthy circulation. But when you are sitting still for a long period of time, this second heart is not beating. The blood is not being pumped. It is just sitting there, becoming stagnant.
So, the secret to preventing blood clots is to keep that second heart beating regularly throughout the entire day.
Exactly. So, doctor, please walk us through the simple exercises in your hourly ritual that anyone can do even while they are sitting down watching television or reading a book.
Of course, there are 3 very simple and gentle movements. The first and the most powerful of these are heel raises. While you are sitting with your feet flat on the floor, you simply lift your heels up as high as you can, pressing down on the balls of your feet. You should feel a nice strong contraction in your calf muscle. Hold that contraction for 2 seconds and then slowly lower your heels back down to the floor. You should aim to do this about 20 times. The second exercise is ankle circles. After you have finished your heel raises, you can lift one foot slightly off the floor, and you slowly and deliberately rotate your ankle in a large circle. You should do this 10 times in one direction and then 10 times in the other direction. Then you repeat the process with your other foot. And the third exercise, if you are able to stand up safely, is gentle marching in place. You can hold on to a sturdy kitchen counter or the back of a chair for support and just gently march in place for 30 to 60 seconds, lifting your knees. This helps to engage all of the muscles in your legs.
These simple movements are the very ones that are taught in hospitals to help people recover after surgery and to prevent clots.
Yes. And this brings me to the story of the 76-year-old woman that you mentioned from the source text. She came to the hospital with what she thought was just a very bad calf cramp that would not go away. But a simple ultrasound revealed that it was actually a very dangerous blood clot, a DVT. She was, of course, very frightened. After she was treated by the doctors and was safe, her physical therapist taught her this exact hourly ritual. She was a woman who loved to sit and read her books for hours at a time. Her therapist told her, "Your books are your joy, but your chair has become your enemy." The therapist had her set a small timer on her watch to go off every single hour. And every hour when the timer went off, she would put down her book and she would do her heel raises and her ankle circles. It became her new life-saving habit. It allowed her to continue enjoying her passion for reading, but to do so in a safe and a healthy way.
That story is so powerful because it shows that this is not about giving up the things we love. It's about adding a small, simple protective habit. Now, doctor, let's be very, very clear about the protocol. This is not about doing these exercises for 30 minutes once in the morning, is it?
No. That is the most important point of our entire conversation. For preventing blood clots, it is not about duration. It is about frequency. It is much, much better for your circulation to do these simple exercises for just 1 minute every single hour that you are awake and sitting than it is to do one big 30-minute workout in the morning and then to sit still for the rest of the day. It is the consistent hourly pumping that keeps the river of your blood flowing.
It is a beautiful example of how small, consistent, and blessed acts of stewardship for our bodies can have the most profound and life-saving impact.
So the hourly movement ritual is the pump of our second heart. It is the active part of our protocol. But the pump works much, much better if the fluid it is pumping is healthy and flows easily. So now we must talk about the 2 important supporting pillars of our protocol, hydration and nutrition.
Let's start with hydration, doctor. I think everyone knows that drinking water is important for our health in a general way, but can you explain for our viewers specifically how being even a little bit dehydrated can dramatically increase the risk of a blood clot?
The science is very direct and very simple to understand. Your blood is more than 90% water. When you become even mildly dehydrated, your body will pull water out of your bloodstream in order to support your other critical functions. This makes your blood physically thicker and more viscous. It becomes more like a syrup and less like water. This thick, sticky blood is much harder for your heart and for your calf muscles to pump throughout your body. This creates a dangerous low-flow state in your lower legs, where the platelets and other clotting factors in your blood are much more likely to clump together and to form a clot. Staying well hydrated is one of the most powerful and one of the simplest things that you can do every single day to keep your blood flowing smoothly and to prevent clots.
And what is the wise way to stay hydrated, doctor?
The wisdom here is not to drink a very large amount of water all at once. That will just overwhelm your system and will cause you to run to the bathroom. The key to true hydration is consistent, gentle sipping throughout the entire day. Keeping a water bottle or a glass of water next to you at all times and just taking a small sip every 15 or 20 minutes is the absolute best way. This simple habit helps to maintain a perfect fluid balance in your body all day long.
So consistent hydration is our first supporting pillar. What about the second pillar, nutrition? Are there specific foods that our viewers can eat that will prevent blood clots?
There is no one single magic food that will prevent a clot, but the overall pattern of your diet is very, very important. A diet that is full of processed meats, excess salt, and a lot of sugar creates a state of chronic low-grade inflammation in the body, and this inflammation is very damaging to the inside of your blood vessels.
That is exactly right. The inner lining of all of your blood vessels is a very delicate and a very smooth single-cell layer. It is called the endothelium. It is designed by nature to be very slippery, almost like a non-stick pan, so that your blood cells can flow by very easily without sticking. Chronic inflammation, which is so often caused by a poor diet, damages this delicate lining. It creates rough, sticky, and damaged spots on the inside of your veins. These rough spots are like Velcro, and they are the perfect place for a blood clot to begin to form. So by choosing an anti-inflammatory diet, one that is rich in fresh vegetables, fruits, healthy fats from fish and olive oil, and is very low in processed foods, you are helping to keep the inner lining of your blood vessels smooth and healthy. You are creating an internal environment where it is very difficult for a dangerous clot to form.
The rule is very simple. You should eat real whole food that comes from nature. The more a food has been changed in a factory, the more inflammatory it is likely to be for your body.
It is a wonderful example of how the simple, blessed foods from nature work to protect the incredible and intricate systems that our bodies were designed with. And it is a true blessing to be able to share this kind of life-saving wisdom with our community all around the world. To help us see our global community, please let us know what city, state, or country you're watching from. We love hearing from you. So, Doctor, the full protocol is clear move every hour and stay well hydrated throughout the day. This is a fantastic plan for prevention. But what if someone who is watching right now is worried that they might already have a problem? Let's talk about the final part of your protocol, which is about being a watchful guardian. What are the subtle warning signs of a DVT that people should be looking for in their own bodies?
Yes, it is very important to learn how to listen to the whispers of your body before they become a loud scream. The early signs of a DVT are often very subtle. It is not always a sharp, dramatic pain. Very often it can begin as a persistent heaviness in just one of your legs, or you might notice a patch of skin on your calf that feels unusually warm to the touch when you compare it to the other leg. Or you might see a slight redness or a new swelling in just one leg that is not present in the other. A key clue is that these symptoms are usually only on one side. This knowledge can truly save a life. I had a patient, a gentleman in his 70s. He had just returned from a long airplane flight to visit his grandchildren on the other side of the country. A few days after he returned home, he noticed that his left calf felt a little bit heavy and was just slightly more swollen than his right calf. He remembered a conversation that we had had in my office about this very topic. Instead of dismissing it as just a muscle cramp or something he did on the trip, he went to the emergency room immediately. And he was right to do so. The doctors there found a small DVT. Because he acted so quickly, they were able to treat it easily with medication before it could become a much more serious problem. His awareness was his greatest protection.
That is a life-saving story, and it shows the power of being informed. And we must also be very clear with our viewers about the signs that a clot may have already broken off and traveled to the lungs. This is a pulmonary embolism. The signs of this are a sudden, unexplained shortness of breath, a sharp chest pain that often gets worse when you take a deep breath, or even coughing up a little bit of blood. These are not wait-and-see symptoms. These are signs of a true medical emergency, and you must call for help immediately. Now, doctor, let's go back to prevention, to that powerful hourly movement ritual. It is so simple, but I know it can be very easy to forget when you get busy during the day. What is your best advice for making this life-saving habit an automatic and effortless part of a person's day?
You are right. To build a new habit, you must make it easy. The best way is to connect the new habit you want to an old habit that you already have. This is a technique that is often called habit stacking.
How does that work?
You find something that you already do regularly, and you stack your new habit on top of it. For example, many people enjoy watching television shows that have commercial breaks. The end of the commercial break can be your signal. You can say to yourself, when the show comes back on, which is my existing cue, I will first do my 1 minute of leg exercises, which is my new habit. Or if you work at a desk or read a lot, the top of every hour when the clock changes can be your signal. You are stacking your new desired habit onto an existing cue that is already in your day.
That is a brilliant and very practical strategy. What about using a physical reminder?
A physical reminder is also very helpful. You can set a simple timer on your watch or on your kitchen stove to beep very gently every hour. It does not have to be loud or startling. It is just a soft, gentle reminder from you to you. It is a little bell of self-care that says, it is time to pump your second heart.
That is wonderful, compassionate advice. It's about weaving these acts of stewardship for our health into the very fabric of our day, making them a natural and blessed rhythm. Doctor, this has been an incredible and a potentially life-saving guide. You've given our viewers a full, complete circulation reset protocol. It is a powerful and very natural way to prevent dangerous blood clots. It's the simple hourly movement ritual to activate our second heart, and it is supported by the foundational pillars of good hydration and an anti-inflammatory diet. This is a critical and a very proactive practice for senior health. By keeping our blood flowing freely, our viewers can dramatically reduce their risk of blood clots and the devastating consequences that can sometimes follow. This knowledge is so empowering, and it is a true cornerstone of a proactive senior health strategy. It is a practical daily way to fight back against the silent danger of blood clots and to protect your freedom and your independence for all the years to come.
I want to leave you with this one final thought. Stillness is the enemy of a healthy circulation. Movement, even the most gentle movement, is the signal of life. I encourage you to move every hour, drink your water throughout the day, and you will give your body a beautiful and a very powerful gift of health.
That is a beautiful message to end with, Doctor. Movement is the signal of life. It's a wonderful reminder to be good stewards of our bodies, honoring the incredible way they were designed to thrive on movement and on flow. And of course, the wisest first step is always to speak with your personal doctor before starting any new health routine, especially if you have a history of blood clots or other cardiovascular conditions. Please remember that our conversation today is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for the direct medical advice from your own trusted physician. If you found this guide empowering and helpful, please give this video a like so that others can find this vital information. And be sure to share it with a friend or a family member, especially one who you know sits for long periods of time. This information could truly save a life. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It is completely free, and it ensures you will not miss our next practical health guide. And for our community discussion today, we would love to know, what is one simple way you can remind yourself to get up and move every hour? Please share your idea in the comments below. Your tip might be the perfect solution for someone else in our community. Thank you for being with us. Be well.